February 8th, 2026, speed racing legend Lindsey Vonn suffered a devastating crash in the women's downhill at the Winter Olympics in Italy, an injury that instantly ended her Olympic comeback and may have closed the chapter on her competitive career. Today we're going to break down exactly what happened, how it happened, and what comes next for the iconic athlete. So just 13 seconds into her downhill run, Vonn lost control of her line. Her right arm hooked a gate, twisting her body at high speed, sending her violently into the snow right here. The impact launched her off balance and she could not recover before crashing into the ground. So with racing at these types of speeds, sometimes even over 80 miles per hour, any slight miscalculation, even inches off of her line, was enough to cause this catastrophic fall. Vonn was immediately immobilized on the course and airlifted by helicopter to a hospital in Italy. The injury she sustained after this crash was a complex tibia fracture. She also suffered an ACL tear earlier this week that did not stop her from competing in this race here. So we take a look at our anatomy of our lower extremities, specifically the tibia. This is our shin bone seen right here. Once again, it was confirmed that it was a complex tibia fracture. This means that there is most likely multiple types of fractures throughout that shin bone, and complex is referring to that it is injured or it has impacted either any soft tissue, so either like muscle, skin. So the tibia is the larger of the two bones of the lower leg, and it's the one that bears the most weight compared to your fibula. So as discussed before, with complex fractures, the bone just does not break cleanly. It shatters and cracks in multiple planes, often near joints, and can disrupt adjacent ligaments, muscles, and other cartilage. So Lindsey already received one of her surgeries. She confirmed that she's going to need multiple surgeries with this type of injury, disregarding that ACL reconstruction that still needs to happen due to the fact of how severe this tibia fracture was. The first surgery she had was to help stabilize the area, while she is about to have or did have another surgery to assist with complications of swelling and blood flow from reports. This is very interesting, as with this type of report saying that there might be complications of swelling and blood flow, this makes it concerning that there might have been some other impact or potential something else going on, maybe even more severe than the initial fracture. This including compartment syndrome. So the tibia is surrounded by a bunch of soft tissue like the muscles. All these muscles help with creating movements at that ankle joint. We already talked a lot about what complex fractures are, as they can damage surrounding soft tissue. And with tibia fractures, there's such a high risk for compartment syndrome. So what is compartment syndrome? This view is going to give you the best idea to visualize the compartments of our soft tissue, especially in that lower portion of the leg. So from this cross-section view, you can see that each of the muscles are kind of in their own little compartmental area. And when there's something like a tibia fracture seen right here, this is your tibia and this is your fibula, there can be a variety and so much swelling that happens surrounding this tissue, especially with a compound fracture where there is multiple areas and typically fragments are piercing soft tissue, that within these compartments of the muscles, that pressure increases within those compartments, and that cuts off that blood flow. Ultimately leading, when blood flow is cut off, that leads to death, cellular death, muscle death. This is a medical emergency and must be addressed with surgery, typically a fasciotomy, to decrease that pressure of that surrounding area immediately. Because with this type of injury, time is vital, because as lack of blood flow becomes longer and longer to certain muscles and areas of the body, that will lead to more and more cell death. So with this type of complex fracture, this is going to be a very long recovery for Lindsey Vonn. Typically, this is going to be taking about 6 to 12 months for full functional recovery, return to sports. It all depending on the healing, the absence of complications, which we've just talked about, potentially one, and continue rehab. Because Lindsey already dealt with a torn ACL just days before, which she says did not contribute to the crash, her recovery will likely be more complex mentally and physically. Right now, Lindsey is stable, receiving world-class medical care, and beginning what will likely be a long but hopeful road to recovery. Every bone, ligament, and muscle will need time, and the world will be watching every step. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown of Lindsey Vonn's injury. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and thank you so much for watching.